Hey, welcome back to DieCash Cars. So, in preparation for Easter and all the kids at church, I decided to do little goodie giveaway bags of Hot Wheels, and I thought what better of an opportunity to pick up the latest Amazon 50 packs just to see if there is a new mix inside of these. And as you guys have seen in my previous videos, these 50 count packs aren't always the most up to date. They don't always follow the current release schedules for Hot Wheels and the specific case releases, especially here in 2024. But I'm always willing to give them a chance. And again, it's just for the kids, just a bunch of little short cards, which they seem to enjoy more than the long cards because they look really miniature. But if anything, it allows us an opportunity to do a quick unboxing. So let's get this opened up. So the box is cracked open. Does anybody see the Spectre Flame paint? No, I'm just kidding. I don't believe that there are ever Super Treasure Hunts added into these cases. I've never seen them the few times I've purchased them over the last couple of years. But again, one benefit of these Amazon 50 count packs is that if they are in schedule, they do have a lot of new cars that we aren't seeing in the retail stores. And this is at least one that I haven't seen in stores, but the 2010 Camaro SS in this highlighter yellow. It's a police response car. Pretty neat. Next up, we got a McLaren. Ooh, I haven't seen this one yet either, but it is a McLaren Solus GT in this cool Electron Lightning Tampoed blue. Looks pretty good. I am seeing some new cars in here, and we'll get to that in just a second, but this is something that's pretty recent. So I'm guessing this case is fairly new or fairly up to date as far as the 2024 case releases. But Let's Race, that's a new Netflix series. I haven't personally watched it. I know my son has watched it a few times, but this must be one of the cars out of that Netflix series. And as I was mentioning earlier, this would be a Super Treasure Hunt if this was a regular case, but the Mercedes-Benz 560 SEC AMG, one of the nicer Super Treasure Hunts that have been released this year as well too. And if it was the Super, it'd be Spectre Flame Red, and it would have red wheels with a chrome lip, which honestly looks really good. I've seen a couple in person, but I personally haven't found one for myself just yet. Dropping cars just like at the pegs, but we got an Audi Quattro 1987. We got a Roadster, at least that's how our friend Mr. John Lambert would say it on Landley Group. That was a Woman's Day car as well too, which is pretty cool. Another Let's Race Netflix series exclusive West Coast Flyer. Next up, we got a Mad Mike Drift Attack car in gray, and I believe this is actually a real car in real life. I mean, Mad Mike, I've been doing a little bit of research on the guy. He started off as somewhat of a fashion designer. Now he's like big into designing cars. I mean, just for example, at the latest Tokyo Auto Salon, he unveiled a RX-3 wagon. And it's all done up. I think it's got like a 4-rotor. It's making a ton of horsepower. I mean, the guy is innovative to say the least. And I believe he's got a lot more collaboration with Hot Wheels and Mattel moving forward. So I'm excited to see this and excited to see what else Hot Wheels does with the guy. Another Netflix special. Man, what's going on with these Amazon boxes? They got all these Let's Race cars here, but we got the Grass Chomper, which is pretty cool. It's like a souped up lawnmower. And the last car on the top row here, Roger Dodger, and this is the leap year car. It's kind of cool. A lot of eventful calendar type cars in this mix. Second row here, we got the wheelie chair in this red, white, and blue. This would make for a really good July 4 car. And oh boy, some JDM action. Mazda RX-7. This is the FB version of the RX-7 in police livery. This one is actually pretty popular. A lot of folks are looking for it, so kind of cool to see it in a short card. I'm sure some kid is gonna really enjoy that one. Got a 67 Camaro art car, I believe, but it's got all this like CAD blueprint all over the car and giant R on the roof there. And then one of my personal favorite castings here, but Pagani Zonda R red recolor. This one really hit the ground running because the second it was released just last year, I mean, they've released it a number of times in a number of different colors. This car has been a little bit of a buzz, and again, I really do need to watch this Let's Race series because this apparently is one of the cars out of that series. It's an art car for the Hot Wheels releases, but I think the color combinations on this one is just really eye-catching. It's very resto rat mod, and I know it's a fantasy cast, but it just looks really appealing for some reason with all the mismatched panels and all that. Cool to see that in a short card. We got a Honda Civic Custom. This always reminds me of Employee of the Month, if you guys have never seen that movie. But Dax Shepard and Dane Cook, I mean, they're obviously fighting over Jessica Simpson. And it's Dax Shepard who is like the lead dog to winning Employee of the Month. And this is, the car that he's driving is a 70s Honda Civic. And in yellow like this as well too, which is just really interesting. So cool to see that in Hot Wheels. Another Let's Race car. We got a Rockin' Railer. Gotta move a little bit quicker here, guys. Another Let's Race car. Jeez, it's like the full set of Let's Race cars in here. But GT Scorcher. Up next, we got a license car, finally, but a Land Rover Series 2. And last on row 2 is the 57 Jeep FC. This one is super rugged looking and a giant casting, so I'm sure some kid is going to really enjoy playing with this one. Jumping down to row number 3, the first car out is the 73 Jeep J10. Again, another very rugged looking car, K&N livery in dark blue. We got an El Segundo Coupe Unleashed 2, which I'm not sure what that is, if it's a TV series or what. I'm sure the kids at church will be able to tell me. We got a little Red Express truck, Dodge 1978. This looks to be a Valentine's Day card. Again, hitting all the major dates in the calendar here. And this would have also been a Super Treasure Hunt out of the C case, I believe, but the BMW 507 in yellow looks pretty cool. This casting actually just debuted not too long ago, I believe last year or the year before. Another Let's Race Netflix car, Street Wiener. And I'm kind of doing both 3 and 4 rows here, but we got the Loopster. We got another Let's Race car, Group C Fantasy. It's interesting that Hot Wheels would put the word fantasy in a fantasy cast. Hot Wheels 4-track. Let's race again. And ooh, this one was much anticipated by myself, but the custom 68 Camaro, we saw it last year in that matte blue. Now we get it in a gloss red with, again, very rustic rat rod style graphics, but looks pretty clean. Jumping down to row 5 here, the Alfa Romeo GTV6. This one was a big deal when it debuted last year because it had the new plastic wheels that Hot Wheels was debuting. We get a recolor this year in gray, and I can't reach this last car. I'm gonna just kind of dump a little bit here, but limited grip recolor in red. We got the Audi RS e-tron in white. We got Surfin' School Bus. Looks good. All camoed out. Looks more like a military vehicle, if anything. And then we got another Let's Race car. I'm pretty sure we got the whole series of Let's Race in here, but Baja Bison. So if there's any Hot Wheels Let's Race Netflix fans out there, if you got kids that love that show, this is the 50 pack to buy because you pretty much get all the cars from Let's Race. Speaking of which, Boom Car. It's like a cannon on wheels. And back to JDM, we got a Mazda MX-5 2015 in this mint green. That looks pretty good. And ooh, another very anticipated Hot Wheels for the year, but the EG Civic in red with the Japan livery there on the side. This one is getting swallowed up right now. It's funny because I was at Walmart. They just did their F-Case dump bins, and I missed it. Obviously, got there late. I saw them, all the Mercedes kind of lined up, which meant that another collector was there, but they did leave behind a number of these EG Civics, so I did grab a couple for the stash. But yeah, this looks pretty good. I kind of wish it had taillights decals on the back, but at least we get the front colored in there, which looks pretty good. That'll be a highlight for the box. And a Vespa. So I've been to Italy. I've seen these bikes drive around, but there is a fascination with this casting. It is new for 2024, and they're selling on the secondary market for quite a bit. Folks are always selling them in lots for double, triple retail price, but look at this. Got it in a short card. Looks pretty neat. Again, I don't know what the fascination was with it, but I can appreciate it for what it is. But here it is in red. And then we got a little USDM GMC Hummer EV. And I wonder if at the dawn of the Hummer age, where it was so popular and everybody was trying to buy one, if they ever thought that GMC would ever turn it into an EV car. But there it is. And last one here on row 5, Glory Chaser in orange. Bottom row here, we got a DeLorean Alpha 5. And oh, that's a very popular release right there. And I can see why too, now that I have it in hand here. But the Collector 55 Bel Air Gasser, I mean, it's a popular casting nonetheless. But now you got it in this really translucent orange pearl, which just looks really good. And all of us are collectors, so who wouldn't like that graphic there? We got a Ram. This looks like a TRX, but it doesn't call out the fact that it's a TRX Dodge Ram. Pretty cool nonetheless. And then we got a Chevy Tahoe. Looks to be a plastic body with a metal base, which is interesting. I'm guessing if they did it full metal body, it would probably be way too expensive. So Hot Wheels kind of cheapen out a little bit there. Over here, we got another Let's Race the Mustache. Interesting graphic there on the side. It's got a person in the graphic, but there's no person here, which I wish they would have just casted a person right in there. Oh, look at that, another EG Civic. Whoa, that's pretty cool. We'll definitely have to see if my kids can grab that grab bag for me to get that EG Civic in a short card. Another very popular casting here for 2024, the Proton Saga, first release for the year in red. Kind of cool to see this in a short card. I know this is super popular. People are just hoarding these because of the significance of it being the first Malaysian made car in real life, and now we see it in Hot Wheels. And obviously Malaysia is where all of these Hot Wheels are produced. And then we got a Drift and Brake in purple. This is another car that's pretty hot right now, but the Chevy C10, it's just, again, cool, rugged graphics, got the red wheels there. And this did come out as a Target Red edition as well too, so keep an eye out for that. And the last car out of the box, the Night Dragon. Again, another calendar car here, 2024, Year of the Dragon. That is pretty cool. Just look at that giant turbo there underneath the dragon's belly there. I mean, just breathing all kinds of fire. But there it is. That's the whole box. So here are some of the highlights from the latest Amazon 50 count box, headlined by the 1989 Mercedes-Benz 560 SEC AMG in red. Then you got another red Vespa 90 SS Super Sprint 1966. You got the orange translucent Chevy Bel Air Gasser with the Collector logo there on the side. And last but not least, the 1992 Honda Civic EG. I ended up getting 2 of these out of the box. Hopefully you guys are as lucky. My one question with this mix is, given the case codes these are associated with, I'm wondering why I didn't see the R33 Godzilla out of this mix. Maybe it's the next wave of Amazon 50 count packs, but that's the thing with Amazon 50 count packs. They don't necessarily follow all the right case codes, which, again, based on normal releases, this should have been in the box, but not going to complain. Still a pretty awesome mix. If you are interested in this Amazon 50 count box, check out the descriptions below this video. I do have a link associated to it if you want to pick one up for yourself. And if you think about it from a pricing standpoint, I paid about $68 out the door, shipped to my door. And you do the math, it comes out to about $1.30 a car, which is comparable to what you'd be spending at Walmart's or Target's anyways. After taxes, it's about $125, $130 out the door anyways. So it's a good option if you just need a lot of cars and you want to save yourself a trip to the store. But let me know what you think about this Amazon 50 count pack. Let me know if you were able to pick one up recently and if your mix differed from mine. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time on DieCash Cars.